Welcome. My name is Jacqueline Harp. I'm the CEO of Smokies Life.
And I'm Stephanie Kyriazis, the Chief of Resource Education for Great Smoky Mountains National Park.
And we're really excited to share our 2025 Smokies Life member update with you all virtually this year, because it allows our thousands of members across the country to really see their membership at work in Great Smoky Mountains National Park.
I'm looking forward to sharing a little bit about how the aid that Smokies Life provides every year has helped us thrive in 2025.
2024 really was just a year full of change. We started out the year by announcing our new organization name, transitioning from Great Smoky Mountains Association to Smokies Life, and we updated and restructured our Park Keeper membership program. We also opened the beautiful new Great Smokies Welcome Center in Townsend, Tennessee.
Yeah, and actually, our collaboration around visitor centers has been a really important element of the partnership over the last couple of years. All of those park visitor centers are a location where visitors can come and purchase our Park It Forward parking tags, providing a source of revenue to the park. Those are daily, weekly, and annual tags that are for sale in those visitor centers. Also, for a couple of years now, Smokies Life has been the primary operating entity in all of the park visitor centers, both inside and outside the park, with a recent innovation of having Smokies Life staff, who are excellent customer service representatives and know a ton about the park, provide visitors information at our visitor information desks.
So in addition to all of this core partnership and operational work in visitor centers, we also published 3 amazing books last year. We published our spring and fall issues of the Smokies Life Journal and participated in a number of regional partnerships, local events, and then, of course, our previous CEO, Laurel Reed-Matori, retired at the end of last year, and I started as the new CEO. So the team has been graciously onboarding me for the last year. So with all of that change in 2024, I think we knew that 2025 would be a year that we really wanted to let the dust settle and watch and learn about a lot of the new changes that we had implemented. Now, just because we wanted to use this year to watch and learn doesn't mean we haven't been busy. So really excited to share more about the work and a little bit about our business in 2025. In 2025, we're projecting that we will finish the year at about $6.9 million in revenue. That's the total amount of sales generated out of merchandise sales in park stores, less the cost of goods sold, so the product that we purchase in order to put it on shelves. Another key part of our business health is our operational endowment, the Legacy Fund, which many of you all as members contribute to on an annual basis. We also contribute matching funds from our operational proceeds into the Legacy Fund. Right now, the Legacy Fund sits at right around $5.4 million. So this year really was a huge milestone for us to get that endowment over the $5 million mark as we continue to grow our progress towards directing as much cash aid from our operational sales as possible to the National Park Service. Our aspiration over time is that the interest from this endowment will cover most of our operational needs, and we can direct even more cash towards the park in the future. So you've heard a bit about our annual revenue and our operational endowment, the Legacy Fund. Those combined efforts allow us to contribute almost $3.9 million in aid to Great Smoky Mountains National Park in 2025. That is a combination of $1.9 million in direct cash aid that is given to the park and almost $2 million in in-kind aid, staff support, things directly paid for, and all of those things benefit the National Park Service mission. Now I'm going to turn it over to Stephanie to talk a little bit more about how that aid helps the National Park Service accomplish their mission every day.
Smokies Life Aid to Park funds an incredible diversity of people and projects throughout the national park. All of this is in support of its mission to advance interpretation, education, research, and science throughout Great Smoky Mountains National Park. I'm going to start by talking about some of the science projects that you support as members of Smokies Life. Although the most iconic land animal in the Smokies is undoubtedly the American black bear, in the water, the brook trout is a beloved native species. Long crowded by rainbow trout that were stocked in Smokies waterways throughout the early and mid-20th century, the brookies are making a comeback thanks to the efforts of our fisheries crew, with a lot of support from Smokies Life. A first step in brook trout restoration is to survey the streams to understand the current fish distribution within them. This year, Smokies life-supported interns added 3% to the streams that have been surveyed for this purpose, bringing our total to 80% of Smokies waterways that have been surveyed for potential brook trout reintroduction. Another important piece of science work is the continuous water quality monitoring of Smokies streams. This year, over 800 hours of volunteer service were given to collecting water samples, with Smokies Life paying for the analysis and processing of those so we understand the chemistry in our water. Once we understand the chemistry and ecology of our streams, we can identify locations that will be ideal for brook trout restoration. To date, more than 36.6 miles along 19 different streams have been identified as great new brook trout habitat, and the brookies have been brought back to those waterways. Additional stream science supported by Smokies Life, who pay for a lot of our interns in the summertime, includes invertebrate monitoring in those streams, as well as hellbender surveys. Switching to our forests, our vegetation interns protected hemlock trees against hemlock woolly adelgid. They also removed exotic plants and conducted inventory and monitoring activities on forest plants. Our GIS interns helped the vegetation branch with a restoration project on Andrews Bald to keep that beloved spot open and the views beautiful and clear. A final note on the science front is that this year Smokies Life bought a boat for our park scientists. This boat will be used to access hog trap sites, exotic plant control sites, and stream monitoring locations across Lake Fontana, as well as help with our annual trash pickup efforts and provide access to cemeteries so that we can maintain these sacred spaces. Another way Smokies Life supports place-based community education is through 2 embedded school coordinator positions. Pi Beta Phi Elementary School in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, and Cherokee Central Schools in Cherokee, North Carolina, are the 2 schools closest to the national park in its major Tennessee and North Carolina gateway communities. These coordinators, who are Smokies Life employees, work in both the park and the schools. They help organize field trips and other engagement opportunities for the young people for whom the Smokies is the national park in their backyard, helping to cultivate a sense of stewardship in the community leaders of tomorrow. Another critical element of support is for our volunteer program. In 2025, more than 2,200 volunteers gave over 108,000 hours of their support to the park. Smokies Life pays for our annual banquet honoring these amazing folks who provide so much time and talent keeping the park running. In addition to hikes and talks about history and bears, this year our 10 seasonal interpreters focused on immersive programming from the public, including lots of stream splashers programs in our Smokies waterways, as well as a return to providing lots of evening programming, unlocking the mysteries of the night, and offering entertainment to the visitors staying in our campgrounds. This year, our education team kept busy, serving over 15,000 youth through virtual and in-person programming. A particular highlight in the summer is working with our local Boys and Girls Clubs, where we serve more than 1,200 kids on over 40 programs. Finally, Smokies Life supports our interpretation and education team, providing salary funding for more than 85% of our seasonal and career seasonal staff. We are so grateful for the incredible support that Smokies Life provides to the park every year, helping us to serve students and the public and do the science that's needed to make good stewardship decisions for this place we all love so very much.
Thanks, Stephanie. What an awesome update about work that we are proud to support. This year, we've been focused on revising some of our beloved field guides and publications at Smokies Life. In 2025, we published updated versions of the Field Guide Mammals of the Smokies and the Field Guide Reptiles and Amphibians of the Smokies. We also published a new chapter in the book Letters from the Smokies, representing stories from the Eastern Band of Cherokee Indians. We're also honored to have recent awards bestowed on several of our publications. Letters from the Smokies was awarded the Public Lands Alliance's Publication of the Year Award, and George Massa, A Life Reimagined by Janet McHugh and Paul Bonesteel, recently received both the North Caroliniana Society Book Award and an East Tennessee Historical Society Award for Project Excellence. A member of the Smokies Life Advisory Council for Book Publications and past Steve Kemp Writer-in-Residence, Latreia Graham, was honored with an impressive Freelance Journalism Award. She won the prestigious 2025 Heising Simons Foundation's American Mosaic Journalism Prize, honoring her outstanding reporting and awarding her a cash prize. As a fifth-generation farmer in South Carolina, she writes powerful stories about race and Southern culture. Established in 2019, our Steve Kemp Writers in Residency program honors our retired Interpretive Services Director, Steve Kemp, who built the Smokies Life publication program into one of the largest in the National Park Service network. This year, Jim and Leslie Costa served as our 2025 Kemp Writers in Residence, the first time we've ever had the pleasure of hosting a writer and illustrator team. Trained as entomologists, Jim and Leslie Costa both have a passion for insects. Jim is a biology professor and executive director of Western Carolina University's Highlands Biological Station. His wife, Leslie Costa, specializes in scientific illustrations. Together, they've cultivated a lifelong appreciation for the insect world and the many mysteries it still holds. As this year's writer and illustrator in residence, they're bringing that passion to bear on a singular mission: to craft a unique guide, which Smokies Life will publish, inviting others to gain an understanding and appreciation of insects in the Smokies, and by extension, everywhere. They've generously created 4 blog essays for us, work that will likely find its way into the new title. They've also hosted a branch out program in 2025 and will host some branch out programs for us in 2026. Speaking of branch out, we've also enhanced our calendar of branch out events with dozens of offerings this year from March through November, centered around birding, hiking, naturalist skills, and community science. These are member-exclusive events designed to support our over 27,000 individual members and 147 Lookout League members all over the country. Although the Smokies Life mission is specifically dedicated to supporting the science, research, interpretation, and history in Great Smoky Mountains National Park, we also work in collaborative partnerships with other regional organizations around projects that may not only take place within the park boundaries. For example, we're so proud to support the Safe Passage Project, which is a regional coalition of nonprofit and government partners that are focused on improving the safety of wildlife crossings. Right now, the Safe Passage Coalition is focused on the I-40 corridor, but we also acknowledge that there is animal crossing work to do across the country. The Smokies Bearwise Task Force is another regional collaboration that we support alongside the National Park Service, many local businesses, property management and property owners, and regional organizations in order to improve the safety of human and bear interactions in and around the national park. We also are happy to support the production of the annual Donor Salute for Friends of the Smokies, which is the philanthropic partner to Great Smoky Mountains National Park. And we're happy to assist them in acknowledging all of the significant donor support that they receive as they look to raise critical funds for the National Park Service. And finally, we co-produce the Tremont Writers Conference alongside another nonprofit partner in Great Smoky Mountains National Park, Great Smoky Mountains Institute at Tremont. And Smokies Life and Tremont work to bring writers from all across the country into the national park to draw inspiration from these beautiful surroundings and work in small cohorts alongside published authors from Southern Appalachia on works of fiction, nonfiction, and poetry on the Tremont campus. So much of this work is possible because of all of you, our members. But I also have to acknowledge the leadership and support of our board of directors. We are served by a 12-person volunteer board across Tennessee and North Carolina with varying terms of service. I also want to acknowledge 2 of our board members that will be ending their terms of service at the end of 2025. Our current board president, Jeff Cantrell, has served on the Smokies Life board with breaks in service since 2001, and no doubt has left an incredible legacy with this organization. Jerry DeWeese is one of our North Carolina board members who has served on our board for the last 6 years, and he will also complete his term of service this year. We are so grateful to both Jeff and Jerry for their incredible work with our organization. We're thrilled to welcome 3 new board members, Carol Agee, Jenny Baker, and Chris Mann. They will all begin their terms of service in December of 2025 and serve 3-year terms per our bylaws.
On behalf of Great Smoky Mountains National Park, thank you so much for your support as a member of Smoky's life in 2025 and beyond.
It really is the enduring support of our members that makes this work possible, and we're looking forward to another great year ahead.